What up, my freaks? RuinusInsight here with part 39 of my Total Warhammer 3 Valkia the Bloody Immortal Empires campaign. So as we saw last time, Karl Franz fell to Rel Morspig, and the entirety of Bretonnia is now pretty much up for grabs, with no significant armies remaining, at least from either Bretonnia or from Reichland. We do still have the Fey Enchanters, but we're not yet technically at war, and we do still have the forces of Kemmler, but I feel like they're going to eventually just get destroyed by our allies. We could also potentially, if we wanted to, probably take a few of these armies over and control them ourselves, though to be fair, a lot of these armies that our allies have here are a little bit on the uninteresting side. Like, if they had some more interesting units in there, like a bunch of Hydras or something, maybe. But we'll look around and we'll see if we can't find something like that. Once again, I do feel like the AI seems to be weaker as soon as it becomes vassalized. I've definitely seen, for example, in one of my other campaigns, Grom at, I don't know, like 50 turns less, or like 70 turns less, has Black Orcs, Giants, and other good stuff in his army, whereas here, he got nothing. Like, what is this army? No wonder you're not achieving anything. And what can you build here? You can. He does have the Black Orc recruitment available to him. He has Doom Divers available, Giants, Rogue Idols, and what he has in his army is a big wad of Goblins and other such trash. I don't know, Grom. I just don't know. Hopefully he picks it up and tries a little harder. Anyway, we also finally came up to the Fecondites. We've been trying to vassalize them for quite a while with Valkia, so it's time to get that going. Now, we can reach Festus immediately, but I think what we'll do first is get Aldebrand Ludenhof here, because we still can take advantage of Murderous Momentum to kill him, which would recover our movement points and probably allow us to hit Middenheim immediately after that. So let's start here. And ooh, there's still a force at Talabheim as well. The question is, do we auto-resolve this? Now, you know what? I think we fight this. I think we manually fight this super quick, as the enemy army here is not going to really do any damage to our army. But it'll prevent auto-resolve losses, which we may need to fight the cinematic battle against both Festus and his army that's in a tier 5 settlement. So, should be a pretty epic fight there. And plus, we'll probably want to auto-resolve the settlement battle right after, so you gotta pay attention to that as well. Yeah, spearmen and archers I don't think are going to be quite enough there, Hawkland. Start deployment, I guess we'll march everybody in together. Minus Valkia, you can just go and kill the enemy lord. I don't think the enemy can hurt you. And then we will... Oh, right, we still need to evolve that one unit of Chaos Knights. You guys can charge in from this side, I guess. Just charge in all together. And with you. Alrighty, Valkia's gonna be group 1, you guys are gonna be group 2, you guys are gonna be group 3, you guys are gonna be group 4, like so, although we'll try to put these shields in front so that you don't get nearly as hurt, ideally. Like so, you guys are gonna be group 4, and wait, actually you guys should be part of this. There we go, group 4. Wait, I took the wrong one, didn't I? Cormac, you should be leading the charge here, so group 3. Alright, that looks good to me. Valkia, go kill the enemy lord, everybody else group up, and move in and attack. Alright, you guys, give it a few seconds until Valkia starts distracting some of the enemies. I think, screw it, it doesn't probably really matter all that much. And where are Carnage and Slaughter, you guys? You can move in on this side, I guess. Alright, Valkia is in. Let us use the spear on... I don't know, where can we reach a decent amount of enemies here? So I'm not a huge fan of this particular ability, but it's something. Alright, well, how about that? Just to get it off cooldown, if nothing else. There we go. It did something. Valkia, buff yourself up. You can reduce enemy defensive capabilities. Here come Carnage and Slaughter. You can drop down on those archers, and you can drop to... Hey, you guys, go help those out. And you guys move in here. Valkia's nearly killed the enemy lord, and I do believe the battle will end fairly quickly like this. And you guys go here. And you know what, Cormac, I want you to separate from this thing. Let's ungroup everybody. And let's have Cormac specifically move... Oh, wait, no, not Cormac. Hivald, you can move around and charge these archers, or as otherwise they might damage us. Alright, Valkia, you can keep chasing. You're at your full HP now as well. And let's send one of the Chaos Knights to help this. Let's send... I'd speed it up, but I don't want to take unnecessary damage here. Send a few of you guys this way as well. Okay, that's more than a few, okay. Alrighty, Valkia, you want to drop down on anybody? I guess we could buff some of our allies up. Alright, we don't need to chase anybody down, we just need to force the enemy to rout. I'm actually shocked that the enemy hasn't yet routed at this point. Oh, our War Shrine's probably going to be taking damage from the enemy archers. Let's have you guys charge through and go for the enemy archers while the War Shrine just backs off. Alrighty, and I think everybody else is pretty much fine. It looks like most of the enemy is now routing, and I'm just waiting for the moment to speed everything up. Like so, like so, like so. This is just prep to fight Festus here. And who's asleep? How are you asleep? Go find some things to kill. You're Khorne. Call that being Khorne? Sleeping on the job? Alright, now just speed it up to max, and I think everybody will rout in a second or so. There it is. Perfect. Alrighty, certainly didn't look like we suffered a lot of losses there. And now we can hit Festus. Plus we can heal up off of this a little bit as well. 0 losses. Perfect. Yeah, they weren't going to do a lot of armor piercing to our chosen, or really to anything. I think the only unit that was potentially in danger here was our War Shrine. And you know, I suppose the Bloodthirsters could have gotten hurt as well, especially if they got attacked by a bunch of these archer units, as Bloodthirsters are surprisingly fragile, especially under fire, even from basic range troops. Alright, come on now. And there we go, now that prep has been made, we're gonna heal and slay the captives. And this will give us extra movement, which will allow us to reach Festus, which is perfect, because Festus has a full stack here, with some nice stuff, including a Soul Grinder, which would be dangerous to our Chosen, a bunch of Beasts of Nurgle, a bunch of Heroes and Chaos Warriors, plus, perhaps more importantly, Middenheim here has so damn many elites. Look at all those Chosen and all that stuff. And this should be a glorious cinematic battle, and in fact, maybe we'll want to apply some points before doing so. Valkia, okay, not Valkia's points, but everybody else's points. You actually also don't technically need your points, and you're still not using your damaging spells, so you're fine as you are. You guys, what can you get, if anything? Yeah, I still haven't decided on these. I'm still very tempted to go for spell resistance, but on the other hand, I really like the idea of Cormac being just an insane duelist. Okay, you can actually use your points, though. Let's give you War of Chaos so that you don't take as much damage, and I guess we'll give you 159 armor. Okay, you're probably good as you are. Woundmaker, do more damage. Good enough, and I believe that's it. We are ready to go. Just gotta watch out for that Chaos War Shrine getting hurt, but I do imagine Festus will fight us here. There's no way he runs from this. He should have at least a theoretical advantage in numbers, and can certainly intersperse all of his single entity units throughout that giant pile of Chosen Chaos Knights. Should be an interesting time. Pyrrhic victory, apparently. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if Valkia can assassinate Festus. And on the bright side, this will give us the defeat trait for Festus, which is an increase to casualty replenishment rate and something else. I don't remember the other thing, but I care about the casualty replenishment rate so that Valkia continues to fight without having to stop. Here we go.
After we water the earth with our enemy's blood, we will drink whatever's left.
There's may not be that much left, but anyway, here we go. This looks like we've got the makings of a potentially epic fight here. Valkia is going to, of course, try to assassinate Festus as fast as she can. And just once again, just gotta say, Valkia has such fantastic animations, doesn't she? I still think that the that animation where she picks somebody up and then slams a spear down into the small infantry unit is definitely one of the best ones in the game. And Festus appears to be unhappy about some things. Wow, okay. But, oh, I see why he's unhappy. 2 hits and he's down considerably in terms of his HP. Get a little bit of that extra armor and melee damage reflection from the Curse of the Leper, but he's certainly taken hits, and yeah, he really needed that armor. Alrighty. Now, the rest of the fight is about to be joined. We are going to deploy, in fact, we Vanguard deployed as many of our forces as we could and are trying to hit the enemy as fast as possible so that we can destroy Festus's first army before the second one, the reinforcing garrison forces, arrives on the field. We have also hidden our units of Skull Crushers. I was hoping that all of our, not Marauders, but Chosen, and get into combat and force the enemy to attack them and allow our Skull Crushers to hit them in the back, and we'll see if that actually happens. Valkia is obviously fighting Festus. We have Cormac here fighting the enemy Soul Grinder, and just look at his damn stats. I think he should be able to take care of that Soul Grinder without too much trouble. And then our other Exalted Hero, Hivald, is currently fighting 2 Exalted Heroes as well as a Chaos Sorcerer, so we're going to help him out by landing our 2 Bloodthirsters there to help out as well. There we go. Then it'll be 3-on-3 instead of 3-on-1. Valkia could have taken care of the 3-on-1 just fine, I'm sure, but Hivald is not quite there yet, being fairly low level as yet. Alrighty, well, Valkia, keep working on Festus, who's now at half HP and will continue to drop. The enemy Soul Grinder is also starting to get to half HP as well, while the main battle is certainly happening. And the enemy isn't doing very much damage to us so far, perhaps because it doesn't have its heroes supporting them, or perhaps because its units are weaker than our Chosen are. Not entirely sure, but we're doing pretty good by the looks of it. Looks like these Chosen are the ones that are going to take the most damage, and that's not entirely surprising, but it also won't last too much longer. Festus is nearly dead, so the enemy won't be able to get him supporting them with either damage or healing, and on top of that, these guys are about to get crushed between our Chosen and our Skull Crushers. There we go. Aptly named they are, and Festus about to get chased down, and there he goes. Well done to Valkia, who's completely unharmed after that, and it looks like the enemy Soul Grinder is down as well. Well done to Cormac and Valkia, nearly simultaneously killing all of their enemies. The enemy here is trying to get away, but is now trapped by Skull Crushers from every direction and has nowhere to go. We've also got our slow units, the ones that don't have Vanguard deployment, aka our Sorcerer, our War Shrine, and our aspiring champions about to join the fray as well. Specifically, our Sorcerer is going to use his Tormentor Sword and its debuff, its Helm of Discord, to debuff the enemy further, and the Tormentor Sword prevent them from running as well. Lovely. Looks like this first army is in very, very bad shape now, but the second army is nearly here as well. Valkia trying to chase down one of the enemy Exalted Heroes, but unfortunately it looks like he's moving a little bit too fast. Surprisingly, at 66 it's enough speed, or maybe it's because he forces Valkia to have to go through multiple units like this, yeah. Oh well, not a big deal. That's a lot of Chaos Knights though, damn. We'll have to contend with those as we move the rest of our forces to immediately counter them. It's Skull Crushers versus Chaos Knights here in the presence. A nice little matchup by the looks of it. Valkia is also going to use her Spear Sleipnir to hit the enemy in the line of Chaos Knights, and while it's not going to do a lot of damage because it's not a very high damaging spell, at the very least it will apply a little bit of extra damage. I feel like the spear should have a contact effect from its ability, just to make it a little bit stronger. It just seems so lackluster in comparison to some of the weapons you could use. Honestly, I'd prefer to have an Executioner's Axe or something on Valkia rather than the spear, just by virtue of its stats and the relatively lackluster ability. But maybe I'm using it wrong, and if anybody has any idea, do let me know about that. Anyway, back to it. Looks like the Beasts of Nurgle of the First Army are dying here. I do believe they will have been into banishment pretty much as soon as Festus died, because the main enemy force got kind of ripped apart pretty much at the same time. And while the second forces here, it doesn't look like the enemy Chaos Knights are having a very good time at all. Plus, we gotta remember that these are garrison forces, even if they are elite and from a tier 5 settlement. They are still relatively unbuffed. They do have plenty of Chosen and other units that are moving in at full HP, but the balance of power is very much in our favor now at about 60%, and I'm sure it'll go up further shortly. Looks like the Chaos Knights are trying to get the heck out of there, no longer wanting any part of fighting the superior versions of themselves, essentially. They're literally fighting their own upgrades. Although I suppose the Knights of the Brazen Throne are at least an anti-infantry unit rather than the anti-large of the other Skull Crushers. Lovely little fight. I think this is the best of the Chaos versus Chaos battles that we've gotten through this campaign, just by virtue of the sheer number of elite units on both sides. Quite lovely. And this is kind of what I expect the Chaos Wastes to basically look like all the time, just massive armies belonging to the gods, duking it out. And one of our Bloodthirsters dropping in and just using its mass to push through all of those units. There you go, Bloodthirster. Now you're having some fun. Glorious. A Sword of Khorne coming down in the enemy army as well, and we continue to push through. The battle lines are, well, not very uniform, I suppose, but they are about to collapse on the enemy side, I think. What's it called? The leadership is below half on a lot of units, and I think it'll only take a few more deaths before the entire enemy army decides that it's no longer possible to win. I love watching the giant units when it's like a massive amount of infantry like this, and then you only have a few giant units just towering over everything. It makes for such glorious shots, doesn't it? A little circle opened up around our sorcerer here as our units, I guess, are trying to protect it. Looks like more Chaos Knights are getting the heck out of there, and some of the Chaos Warriors of the enemy are also starting to waver. There's that leadership critical mass that I was talking about. And of course, we've got just to compare here, our Chosen of Khorne with dual axes are 99 melee attack and 65 melee defense, versus, for example, these halberds, which are at 36, 56, though of course they're a lot more defensive. The 99 melee attack is sure to get through it all. Really not much to say at this point. I'm just enjoying the glorious spectacle, although it looks like it's not going to be for much longer. As the trolls are running, some more Chaos Warriors are following suit. I just saw a chariot, possibly a Gorby's chariot, get the heck out, and I do believe the chain route is finally here. And there we go. Well done, everybody. Oh, nice little fire effect. All our Khorne troops feel right at home with all the fire. I do wish there was more fire effects. There we go. And the route is here. Actually, this looks like a pretty nice looking route as well. I guess one of the nice things about the Chaos Force is that they're also relatively slow moving, so that the route is a lot more visible. You know, like if you're fighting, I don't know, a Skaven or something like that, they're all gone in like 3 seconds because they just run away super quickly. Also, on the bright side, this will allow us to chase. Unfortunately, Skull Crushers aren't all that great at chasing units, but because the enemy is so slow moving, it'll give us extra time to do so. Oh wow, that guy in particular. Alrighty, well there we go. As glorious as it was, it had to end sometime. Let's see, 150 units lost on our side, I believe, unless we started off hurt, which we did, didn't we? You had about 30% of your HP gone, so thus the troop loss doesn't really tell us anything right now. Well, we're gonna give chase as much as we can, but I think I'm going to speed this up, and we can just go next. Alright, there we go. Let's see how many of these guys we can kill. Whether we'll still have to attack the enemy at the actual fortress at Middenheim, or whether we will kill sufficient amounts. Looks like some of the enemy units are going to escape. No, actually, these Demon Spew are down to 2, so I think they're non-viable. And we do have a decent amount of cav here as well, so that at least allows us to chase. And actually, out of curiosity, if we compare the Chosen of Khorne, they run at the same speed, eh? And so do the Berserkers, the dual weapon ones. You know, I feel like perhaps the dual axe Chosen of Khorne should also get a speed upgrade. Maybe if not naturally, at the very least by research. I would think the Berserk Khorne units would run just that little bit faster than the regular units, wouldn't they? Just trying to throw themselves into the fray and probably, you know, and get high on the bloodlust and all that sort of thing. Just my 2 cents on the matter. Anyway, close victory, though how close I suppose remains to be seen, but at least it was a glorious one. Alrighty, well that certainly went pretty well. Unfortunately we couldn't chase down the enemy Chaos Knights, but well, I suppose that's to be expected. We did take, what, under 10% losses? We will probably still be able to auto-resolve the next battle, I think. I'm not 100% on it. Maybe the remains of this army will move away and we'll still be able to draw out the rest of the garrison into the field. That would actually be perfect. Just in case, I guess we're going to heal up rather than take the money and the souls. We got a Banner of Swiftness as well, but I don't really care about that. Enslave those captives. And just to double check, these guys have 2 territories remaining, correct? So... And yeah, that's what we wanted. The casualty replenishment rate plus 5%. Oh, vigor loss reduction minus 15 is actually quite nice as well. It's a fairly nice trait. We also now have a plague, but it is not one that causes any kind of attrition, and we don't care about the range and accuracy reduction, and we certainly don't care about the leadership, because everybody's leadership is pretty damn insanely high already. I don't think any of our troops are liable to rout pretty much ever. Also, why are we healing now? Huh. Is it something we did? We're in enemy territory. Why are we healing at all? Could be some kind of interaction with the increased healing we get from Festus? I'm not sure. Well, I suppose it doesn't matter all that much. We will be able to move, I think, to kill Mercy here. I'm just now wondering... And do we stay here? How much movement do we have? Would we be able to reach Brass Keep in a single round? Well, I mean, even if we could, we have to take Middenheim anyway. And because these guys have 2 settlements and we need to take 1 to subjugate them at the other. Alright, fine. If that's the way we gotta do it, that's the way we gotta do it. Now let's attack Mercy here. He's gonna draw out the garrison again. We'll auto-resolve this. Which will mean everybody's dead, and we got about as much damage there as we did in the actual fight. Heal up again. And are we still healing? Yes, we are. Interesting. Sort of Swift Slaying Army receives plague. Is that another plague, or is that the same plague? Looks like it's the same one. And yeah, no, we can't reach Malefics here. I was just wondering whether we could go way further, but it's okay. Let's take Middenheim for ourselves. We're not going to sack it, even though the 40k would be nice. I'd rather occupy it at tier 4. And there we go. And what do we have built here? Well, I guess we can keep the Exalted Hero and the money in the Growth Building and the Shaman's Temple, but we need to replace the Monstrous Lair with a wall. And I would love to get the Strategy Chamber. We can get it later on. We don't really need it right now, especially as we don't yet have too many allies around this area. Alrighty, now, who else can move this turn? Valkia's done a pretty good job fighting. Rel, you should probably attack Gisoro. What do we have here? Excel, and I do wonder whether we'd be able to auto-resolve this. It would also be nice to hit Blackstone Post. Ooh, there's an army at Montfort which could retake Castle Baston, but then again, we don't really care about these territories, so it doesn't really matter if it does. You know what? Head here, Rel. Let's see if you can auto-resolve this. And then we'll be threatening these guys' capital, which could be sackable. And auto-resolve, please. Let's see what the damage here is. Quite a bit, but it's okay, we'll deal. And we're gonna occupy the place so that we can heal up next turn. Lovely. Alright, well done, and you could take the fort now if you wanted to, though there's probably other stuff. We're gonna be obviously trading all of these territories away to our allies shortly. I just don't want to deal with it right now, as we have other things to do. Ventress, you were finding some orcs, and some orcs have been found. The question is, Will this draw out the garrison? Yes, it will. The garrison is basically non-existent. Does this warrant a fight, is the question. Maybe. Maybe actually warrant a fight. Ventress hasn't fought a lot, and this is our Dire Dog, or Fleshhound army. I do kind of like it. Alright, maybe we'll leave that to the next episode then. And were you the last one who actually needed to move this episode? Demahar. Oh, you're still sieging Czar Nagrund, aren't you? And you actually need to physically fight these relatively weak ogres? That's kind of surprising. I guess it is a walled settlement, but I don't really see these guys doing too much to us here. You know what, let's fight this real quick manually. I feel like this is slightly a waste of time, but to be honest, if the game's forcing us to fight it, we'll fight it. It's just that, you know, basic ogre bulls, who cares? They have no chance. I suppose we are possibly slightly concerned about that unit of crane gunners and the Grand Cannon, but we do have 3 manticores in this particular army, who I do imagine should be able to take care of them without too much trouble. If the game ever loads, I mean. Alrighty, start deployment. There's the blind spot in this map, so that's where we'll attack. Let's get you guys moving forward. Just gotta try to avoid the enemy tower fire for as long as possible. How we blob up doesn't really matter all that much either, at least I don't think it does. Group 2, Group 1, are you on a mount? Yes. Are you on foot? Yes. Okay, so go here, you guys. You can be part of Group 1. There we go. Group 1, Group 2, and Group 3. Good. And start battle. Go. Wait, actually go like this. Don't bother grouping up. Alright, is anybody on top of those walls? No, doesn't look like it. The crane gunners and the grand cannons. Okay, so the grand cannons can fire over the walls. They're gonna go for our manticore. Nice shot, though. And is the crane gunner visible anywhere? I do want to kill the unit. Oh, they're all the way over there by themselves. Damn, that would be great, but we can't get to them here. I suppose we could fly over the Grand Cannon. You know what, that's what we'll do. Fly over the Grand Cannon. A Lord go after the gate. We'll have the giant break through. Other units group up right there. Get ready to head into the city. Like so. Controls break down walls. No, they can break down the gate. I suppose we could use the giant to make another hole in the wall. You know what, do that. Attack this while, let's say, the units of spawn go to the gatehouse. We'll be ignoring the Grand Cannon. It's probably going to continue firing on our manticores, but it's okay. If the enemy only has a single unit of crane gunners, I'd really rather focus it. Plus, the Grand Cannon is going to waste the time doing that. I also have to speed this up a little bit. And let's move you in. Let's also move our Aspiring Champions. And ooh, honestly, I believe the Aspiring Champions should be going in first. So let's have them move in right here, right after our Lord moves in. And Shatterstone here. There we go. And we're almost there. Ooh, you guys go after those crane gunners. Just go after them directly. They'll probably fire at you a couple of times, but I don't think they'll kill you. Alright, Giant in, Lord in, Aspiring Champions in, and everybody else go. Battle should be ours fairly quickly at this rate. Sorcerer, you can hang around, but honestly, you're not going to achieve too much here. More units in. Good. They won't climb the walls since we've destroyed all the walls. So everybody can just stream on in. Alrighty, how are we doing over here? Oh, there's a unit of trappers here, and the crane gunners are not going to achieve too much. You hit them from this side, you hit them from this side. Good. Alright, Giant is fighting, and I guess we can just watch the rest of this, because I don't really see the enemy being able to do anything to counter us, although let's just control our units to get properly into the city first. Is there any other Shatterstone we could use in anywhere? This is indestructible. It probably doesn't matter. And just wait for our units to stream on in. And you guys are good? Yes? Alright, crane gunners are pretty much done. And Sorcerer, you can move up. Probably don't need to be wasting time with your fireball. There we go. I did say this really should be auto-resolvable. I mean, it's basic Ogre Bulls. They're a tier 1 unit, are they not? Not the Iron Guts. The Ogre Bulls. Unless the enemies, unless the ogres, no, they count as tier 2 unit. Alright, fair enough. They're just a very weak one. Not that Ogre Bulls are bad, mind you, it's just that they're quite fragile and thus will not stand up to anything here. Ooh, is that a Flock of Doom on us? Not going to do too much damage to most of our units, but I suppose good job to the enemy for trying. Send our Lord to duel the enemy Lord, and oh, you guys are asleep. Let's have you attack that unit of Iron Guts? Is that a good idea? I don't know. We're about to find out. And keep moving forward, please. Everybody move forward. Ooh, there's that Lord. Kill that Lord. And yeah, that tower's gonna be a little bit annoying. Let's send some units up here. They have a massive congregation of ogres up there. And these Iron Guts are doing a good job holding the line. Nothing else. But since we're gonna occupy this place, we don't really care about casualties or anything. And let's see, Iron Guts versus 3 Manticores. Honestly, this kind of interests me more than the rest of the fight, mostly because the rest of the fight is, well, tactically kind of uninteresting. It's just blob action. You just gotta repeatedly or periodically check back on the HP, and it looks more or less fine. Now, it looks like one of the Manticores is probably going to rampage soon. The Iron Guts are doing a decent job at surviving this. But it's not like the Manticores are demons, so they won't melt. And the enemy Lord is running. Let's head on up here, then. Is that unit of Iron Guts done for? No. It looks to be pretty much done for. And are these guys actually just running away? Okay. Well, keep on streaming into the city. And there we go. And is the enemy Lord chased down yet? Ooh. Do we Khorne of Khorne our Manticores? One of them's in Rampage. I'm having a tough time killing the Iron Guts because the Nobbler Trappers are now taking the hits, but nah, I think we do this to our own units here. Like so. And everybody else just go, go, go. Did that enemy Lord fall? It did. It doesn't look like it's gonna fall. Get in its way and then hit it again. Come on. I mean, the enemy morale shock will still happen as it runs off the field. One more hit, one more hit. Ah, there you go. Good job, buddy. And that's why we will ascend you. You deserve it. You've done good work. Alrighty, and everybody else go, go, go. Or wait, will we ascend you? I'm not sure. I was thinking of the other Rel. Rel Morspig, not... No, but this is Demahar Morspig. Oh, Rel Morspig and Demahar Morspig. Oh, we have Morspig brothers. Nice. Didn't realize that. Alrighty, and how are our Manticores doing? Ooh, one of them's in pretty bad shape. Let's move you away and then have you charge back in. And obviously we could run these guys all away. I'm just really curious to see whether they can win this or not. And damn, another unit of Nobblers is moving in? Okay, fine, fine. I guess we're gonna have to move. If we can move. Huh. These guys might be stuck. Alright, fine. Turn on those Iron Guts and, well, just keep fighting. If they rout, they will eventually just move away, so it won't make any kind of difference. Look at those Jade Warriors fighting with the ogres, which does kind of make sense in many ways. Goldtooth does have an agreement with the Western provinces, lore-wise. I mean, I don't remember what's happening in this particular campaign. And honestly, it feels like the ogres and the Cathians fight too much. There should be a lot more trade going on between the two. Probably should have sent a few units around the back. You know what? Let's have you, and you move down here. And let's move... Well, the Chaos Spawn are fine, honestly. They're gonna outdamage the ogres either way. Jade Lancers, ooh. Fireball them? No, actually don't bother. The fireball is probably more danger to us than it is to them, to be perfectly honest. And you guys are trying to head back into this combat because you like to do that. I do feel this army should really, could really use a War Shrine. I'm gonna put one in there later. As in a War Shrine of Khorne. Obviously the Sorcerer will have a regular War Shrine. And Giant, I need you to actually move into the city. Let's get another Horn of Khorne operational. And one of the Manticores has unfortunately routed. And oh, at least they've more or less moved out of the way. They can escape now. Or at least they should be able to escape. Try to clear the path for this one badly hurt guy. Hey, good job to the Iron Guts. But I still doubt that they'll kill the unit. At least, I doubt they'll kill the unit before the battle ends. Giant move in, and it looks like most of the enemy units are here. Force the rest to shatter. And, okay, you guys stop heading back into combat this way. Ugh, put them down here like 3 times. Come on. There you go. And, you know what? Send the Lord down there to actually kill some individual models. Alright, looks like these guys will be left. Okay, ignore these. Go here. Good, 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 good. These guys are shattered now. And let's go after that unit, actually. Alright, and get back to watching. Oh, we still have the Grand Cannon. You know what? Let's send a unit around to kill the Grand Cannon as well. How we doing? Alright, last of the Manticores is still fighting. About to rout, though. Back to watching the Giant work. It's actually taken far longer than we cared to, but this was supposed to be a more or less, well, I mean, it's a new army and something of a temporary army as well. Because obviously we don't have a lot of elites here, just a bunch of basic Chaos, or Marauders rather, not even Chaos Warriors. But hey, it's nice to watch them fight the Ogre Bulls, as it's a much more even matchup than it would be if we were using our Chaos Warriors in our Chosen. Or at least that's enjoyable. Hey, Giant, why have you stopped working? Not allowed to take naps. Alright, Nobblers are routing, and... oh, they have barriers everywhere. Alright, fine, go around. And I think we need to send you, Aspiring Champions, around this way. And I do believe the battle is over just like that. There we are. Alrighty, unlike the Festus fight, this was easy, and yet we lost more units, but obviously because we're a very non-elite army here. On the bright side, it'll heal to full because we are about to take Tsar Nagrund. It's very appropriate that we hold it as well. Alrighty, come on now. A Ruby Ring of Ruin, we don't care about that, we'll turn it into something better. Now we could subjugate Goldtooth as well, but I'd prefer not to give him a Dark Fortress, and honestly, I think, well, maybe we don't have quite enough vassals, but we don't need this weak Goldtooth vassal, mostly because he'll never get strong enough before the campaign ends to be worth our time and effort. And there we go, we've taken a place, we will heal up, and we will obviously get this place going as well. Okay, no obsidian, I guess. Go for money, go for growth, and go for wall. Lovely. Alrighty, well, with that, unfortunately, we are out of time. We do still have to continue making our way southward, as there are at least 2 more Dark Fortresses here. There is the Tower of Gorgoth, and then there is the Black Fortress. And there might be another one, but definitely those 2 at the very least that we need to take. There is also still a bunch of ogres to destroy here, as we have to link up with the Dolgan, and we probably still have to move out at least somewhat towards the Cathians and towards a vassalizing village, but that's what our extra 2 armies is for. We'll start off next episode by attacking Dusty, and the orcs there, and probably by moving Valkia to the Brass Keep, and finally vassalizing Festus, so stay tuned for that, as well as whatever we get up to here with Harald, though he's basically killed the Blue Vipers already, but who knows, maybe they'll have a nice little rebound, we'll see. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.